What is up, everybody? Hope it is chill. FairGrow coming through here. Just gonna have a little bit of a quick chat, open panel sort of thing before Tassie 2 comes up. I think it'll be pretty shortly. Do excuse me for the technical difficulties I just had before. I will try and figure it out and get the setup correct so there's no feedback, and so you can get a bit of the info. But yeah, ultra flower, like the jelly bean, that's really nice. Like I'm really liking it. As I said, the sours, they're good. They're really good. But probably I'd probably take like a different sativa personally. Over it. But good sized nugs. Really strong smell. A lot of terps that we, which was quite surprising. But yeah, is the audio? Hopefully, my sound is coming through. I've had a bit of an issue with this thing sounding like a chopper too, goes in the background. But I'll get it. I don't know. Just been really like kind of non-active, I guess. I should set everything up. Oh, we'll get there because this is just a cheap like $15, like a USB microphone from like a Coles or something like that. So I think maybe it could be on the way out. But anyway, that's enough of this one. Oh, the audio sounds alright. Yeah, cool. Chili cheese. But the jelly bean or jelly bean, whatever. Like that's what I was gonna say before. Like they say jelly bean on the doctors say it, and Canna Reviews has got it, but on the packet it's got jelly bean. And then Wombat was saying before, the strain was created by a lady named Jill, passed away, but that's really got the stereotypical light green, a lot of trikes all over it. Smells real nice, sweet, got that flavor there. One probably it's a sativa. One down thing might be that it's not so uniform. Like they're nice sized chunk nugs, but some of them might be more like full on flavor than the other ones. So that's the only kind of pickiness with it. They really do it like something. They smell real nice and stuff, both of them. But see, some buds are a bit more flavoursome than the others. That's from what I've said. And also, probably, you can't, like, when you're doing these reviews, I probably just thought about it, and you might need to smoke the whole, like, tub, and even another tub, really, before you can get a good gauge at it. At least, or at least half of it. Have a couple of days to see, couple different days of dosing to see what it does. Yeah, and then take it there. Like, I think you can't just open it up, have a cone, and really just have a good gauge of what it's about. You get the taste and you'll get a first impression, that's for sure. But to get a good representation. Yo, what is up, everybody? We got some people coming through now. Peace, big dog, Jake. Hope you're doing good over there. Who we got? Zan, Montes, JT, and whoever else is in the house. Much peace. We're just chilling. The link should be there. Could be there. Hopefully it's there in the chat. If you guys want to come up, no worries though. I'm just going to talk a bit for a while. Tassie 2s I think is coming up soon. So yeah. We were talking about this jelly bean and the ultra sour. I will come back with I'll do a review because it was all set up properly. I had all the windows open. But the kind flower is still probably it's up there. But also that with this week, I made this. Well, I spoke to the doctor to get the script. I didn't think about it really. I guess I was just going. up just quickly and just making the order, and I took 3 in. I got the Iris, which is a hybrid. I've tried it before. Very, very nice taste of black cherry punch. But both of the Jelly Bean and the Sour, they're both sativa. They're very strong, I guess, sativa. So I wasn't really getting that effect, which is, I guess, I needed. And so, this week was a little bit, it's all right because I did have the Iris, which is a 50-50. But, to have such strong sativa all the time, yeah, it is good for what it's specific for. But it had the ultra sour, the taste, like probably really, really piney. And like you open it up, it's got the same similar taste to the smell. So as I was saying in the stream before, it's like reminiscent to the outdoor Australian, that yuki. If you ever got that eucalyptus kind of bud, it's got that really kind of tree smell to it. It is very good. Some, like I guess there was some people up on the review, so they're giving it 4 or 5 out of 5, and the one person gave it 2. So it's and there's a lot of terps in it. So as we were saying, Monty was saying yesterday, maybe that is causing disruption. So many terps, and that's just particularly for me. Maybe for somebody else, they're gonna really like it, and it's gonna react with them really, really good to give them good relief. So for their symptoms. So this is just a personal thing. I'm not bagging it totally at all. Though. It's good. It was a little bit pricier than the rest of it, but not even really pricier, I guess, like compared to ANTG or something, the Solus and that. 165 with the Iris being like 135. So that's why I really do rate it a lot more too. It's on the lower end of the price compared to everything else, but it really competes on the look, the flavor, the strength, everything. Only probably maybe a little down thing is a little bit too dry, so it does suck quite a bit. But personally, I don't really mind that. But it's cool. It's cool. I'll make an order tomorrow on my honor tomorrow. Begin doing next week. But even the same, it is what it's because everybody we keep thinking, I guess not much will change if we just talk and stuff. But we do got, I guess, airing our opinions and but being realistic about it. Because as everybody says, the price point is something, and the way that they've like the angle that they're coming from, and their motive and directive is a little bit. You can tell it's very business based and about the price point and stuff. And I was mentioning yesterday in a stream, I was thinking about it last week, like, how they basically have always criminalized cannabis and people who engage in, just that part of society, which was predominantly a lot of people, right, in this country. So where were they getting it from? People who had to grow it and they were risking it, and these people are now, they were going to prison and getting fines and stuff, but and then looked stigmatized in the media as just trying to make money and tax-free money and criminal corrupting our children and things like this. But then at the same point, they've rolled out the medicinal program and basically taken the place of those people providing the product and taking finance for it. And see, this was where it kind of got me, because they were saying these people criminally who are making so much money, they're like really excessive amounts. But if that is the case, then if you're coming to replace or try and not replace, but to provide your medical program, they've priced it, and it's written there in the legislation. If you go look it up for the proposals of the medicinal, they base the price around the current local market, the street market and the black market. They're trying to keep, I don't know what they were trying, but it is mentioned in there like that they're trying to, you know, take that into account. So it made me think, then wouldn't you want to at least half that price? If these people were making excessive amounts of cash off the crop, then why would your price point come in and be similar to that? And then you guys, you know, and the establishment is saying that what they're doing is completely all good and not stigmatized just because it's in a controlled environment, I guess. And these people have got the certificates of degrees in university and things. So that was a little bit hypocritical to me. You know, something I just thought about just like in the past few weeks. Because you know, and it's been said by the head of Tweed and it's on a YouTube documentary. He just says that, which is the biggest cannabis company in the world, according to the documentary, and that they're just drug dealers in suits and ties. And you know, there is the difference, obviously, between chemical narcotics and cannabis, and which we've really recognized. But that line really has always been blurred throughout the legislation because they're in the same category. Even still now, it's Category 5 or Category 8, whatever it is, Schedule this and that. Like, so you've got people coming through who are qualified and um, doing business obviously since 2016 and recognize that it's actually a medication, but there are still those people. So maybe there's hidden incentives and agendas for everybody too. Uh, but I guess, you know, if you do recognize you get benefit from cannabis, then you know you're doing it. And also I was thinking for a lot of the point too, like a lot of the people, you know, it's been the way for a lot of people who are basically anybody who was born before or who was 18 before 2016 would have been having to access cannabis from the black market, and that would have been through like word of mouth and your connections and the ability to where to get what. So that actual factor would like, you know, it shuts down a lot of people too, because it shuts down a lot of people who are now partaking in prescription. One, because they didn't want to get involved in the stigma of criminality and be arrested and charged and possibly go to prison, obviously, which is fair enough. But then a lot of the time, maybe they also didn't reckon they were going on the stereotypical stigma too. Um, and also hypocritical too, because a lot of them probably did. I mean, yeah, that's right. You can't blanket. There's different circumstances for everybody. There's an immense amount, and then we're talking about law too. It's the same thing. There's so many different things, but there would be the people who were engaged, like who smoked cannabis, basically would not be overtly like would hide it as much as possible due to the stereotypical stigma, and but you know, still having to engage with the black market and would obviously go with the flow of the media and say, "Oh, those people are criminal," but hypocritically, they are smoking at nighttime to medicate themselves. Um, so, and you know, and then in the same way, I mean, then you know, it just I guess you hopefully you can recognize what I'm trying to say, like how uh, that stigma really shouldn't be there because a lot of people that was the culture prior to it, and nobody was really getting hurt. Um, in the same way, it's like a boogeyman type thing. People who weren't really engaged in it hear the characterization and the generalization from these the authorities, and they take that for what it is, and then they so same way in like um, you know, like hey, they'll say, oh, everybody's out there to have a bad motive and do harm, but when in actuality most people aren't. Like, but yeah, it's kind of like the Hegelian dialect sort of thing. But you know, it's yeah, we all recognize that because cannabis culture, it is a peaceful thing. It's a hippie thing, and that's where I guess it should be. Well, personally, anyway, this is how I'd like to see it be, in that it is a plant-based natural thing, so and a very communal thing, which brings a lot of people, different people together from different walks of life. Um, it's so beneficial to all those people who receive relief from just anxiety, from the from the poles of anxiety, or very simple, not anxiety, just simple things like just daily relaxation, to the extreme ones of like uh, terminal cancer, or very strong um, epileptic fits and things like that. Um, so that patient-based and the cultural-based thing is probably the deepest way that, or the strongest motive for people, not for people that I should see that is being forward, not rather than just say, you know, the flower can make money. It's a business perspective. Same way, Chronix. There's an artist, a reggae artist named Chronix. He's got a song called "Perfect Tree," and in the beginning of that, there's like a vocal sample, and he's basically saying like, it's like, universal acceptance of the plant is good, but if you need to take the whole plant, not just the flower. When they say they're taking the medicinal and they're taking the flower and they're making money from it, that's really like a financial incentive, rather than, and you wouldn't have the flower if you didn't have the whole tree. And he says it like, same way with the mango. You wouldn't have the mango if you didn't have the tree all the way down to the root. So you got to look at the same thing with the plant. You know, it is, and it is. It's useful. The roots are useful. The stem is useful. The leaf is useful. The whole plant is really. So I think that's um, well, I guess in my opinion, that's the direction I'd probably like to see. Um, just see your question there, Zen. Um, for the pain, like, I probably, yeah, definitely have to be like like a strong indica. But to mind, it just came up with probably, like the T55 of late. But um, the Sensi, yeah, something with the indica dominant side to it. That anything on that level, it would probably. If I was thinking off the top of my head, but um, yeah, it could, maybe it's related to the terpene too. I'm not too sure. We were talking about that the other day. What's the time? Is the other episode started over at the Tesla Twos? Yeah. All right, everybody. So you can do a fair rate if you want. We'll go over that way. Appreciate everybody sticking around. I do apologize again for the technical difficulties with the review, and I'll come back. I'll do it this week, and so we can have a closer look and listen. Much peace. As I say, look inside yourself, find your direction, follow that path, be the best you can be honest, be yourself, and follow your intuition. So, free the yarndi. Peace.